It looks exactly like in like middle school health class, like those diagram, the cross section.
If you look at it sideways,
We're so back.
fucking why don't
I'm
you just fucking
I'm
I'm
open.
open.
fucking
I'm open.
open.
Music
I'm
to my ears.
I'm
open.
open.
For the
I'm
first
open.
time in 5 months, we're open.
We
How's
are
everybody
open.
been? It's been a long
6 months,
time.
almost
I
six
know there's
months.
been some news all around.
We got a lot
Ryan
of catching
joined
up to do.
the papacy and is trying to become the next pope.
Mm-hmm.
Elu was arrested for manslaughter,
Yep.
and Sam
Allegedly.
And
Sam
I
he
I
has
learned how to
no
bake.
He
he
did.
learned how to bake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
So
been a it's
we're
been a
all
busy
different
6 months.
people
we're
than we were
Yeah.
all
before.
new. It's been a
We
while.
all changed, and then Joe stayed the same. Joe was our consistent, rock through
Joe
Yeah,
these
was
I don't
times.
perfect. Joe
I
didn't
don't know
need
how
to
to bake.
change.
Um,
Maybe in our next pod, 6 months from now, you'll have something to show for it.
Should we do a
let's hope
baking
so.
pod where Sam teaches us all of us how to bake?
To do that, let's see if we can do a frisbee pod first,
Oh, that's
Good
that's
call.
that's
Good call.
harder.
because I don't know. We gotta prove it again. I feel like in some ways we are really back because what was so good about our show was how we didn't know anything. I
Yeah,
feel like I don't know anything anymore.
I was
Yes.
thinking that too, actually.
Yeah.
Earlier
Mhm.
today, I thought it was like back to the good old days when we
Mm,
uh when we really got our fans, when we didn't know anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
The degree to which I don't know anything right now is profound. But hopefully by the end of this, I'll know something.
Yeah, maybe we'll know something. We got some news to go over. Should we,
There's
is there
there's a
anything
ton
to
of news.
say before we get into it? I can just share the screen
Oh,
like the old days.
this episode is brought to you by Abby and the Arsonists. That's part of why we haven't recorded in 6 months.
Mm,
My band that I'm in released an album.
It's
We
fucking sick.
Thank you, Ryan. We worked very
Yeah.
hard on it. I really am uncomfortable making shameless self plugs, but go
But the
listen to
rest of
it.
us aren't, so we're gonna plug it from here. The link
Click
is
the
gonna be
click
here.
click the
This
link.
link right
Click the
here.
link.
right there.
It's a indie rock album. Listen to it or don't. Um,
And
and
just put
yeah,
it on mute.
You say the
yeah.
name of the band
Support them and all.
or the album?
Said the
Uh,
band.
I said the band.
Okay.
We are Abby and the Arsonists. The album is called Caterpillars in the Walls. Yeah. Let's move on, please.
Frisbee. Frisbee.
Frisbee.
All right. I'm gonna share the screen and let's get into it.
Oh, baby.
Where were we?
Where were we? I put a link here to tell us where were we. The 2024 season index. League champion, Minnesota wind chill.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
MVP was Babbitt.
Not really a shocker.
Not really a shocker. Lucas Ambrose in Seattle getting DPOY. Toby DeCraney going off in Montreal.
What team
Remember
was
that?
Gordon Larson on?
I don't know. Wind
Uh,
chill. He's a
Come
champion.
on, you got to know that. He's a champion.
Coach of the year,
The
Ben
Gordon Larson
Feldman.
hive is coming after you, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
know.
I don't envy you.
Um, yeah, we never wrapped up the season. So this is our season wrap up. Do you guys agree with the first team, all UFA?
I think it's cool to see Alan Laviolette on the first team All UFA after what because he sat out like I think like 3 or 4 seasons, and then first season back it was like he never left.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
good. I don't know. Oh yeah, Jeff Babb was on Boston. That was crazy.
yeah. Only one New York Empire guy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Well,
Empire
Empire had the
looks.
down year.
Empire kind of fell off.
Loki
We're gonna.
fell
We'll
off.
probably talk about that more later. But yeah, there's a lot of roster shuffling that needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
we'll
that
get
season
there.
happened,
So
and
that
that's
that happened.
Oh, hold on. Let's show a little respect to the all rookie team.
okay.
I'm more of an all rookie second team guy than first
Yeah,
team, honestly.
I'd
Jonas
say that.
Dang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like come on, Jonas Dang Osborne. That's the only one on either team that I know. I'm gonna be
JSO
honest, but
baby.
Wait, I'm sorry. Jake Felton led the league in assists and was second team all rookie.
mechanics
Yeah, I mean,
And
mechanics.
Might be a mechanic
plus minus
syndrome right
of
there.
12.
It's positive.
That is a
That's true.
positive number. I don't know. I could
Mechanics
see it.
got their
I could
first
see it.
win last year, which we did
Oh
a
yeah.
whole emergency pod about, but I don't think we can stress on that enough.
Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy times.
Great job last year.
That was probably the most viewed UFA game that season because I just remember at that time, like everyone in the Frisbee community was talking
It was
about
a
it.
big deal.
It's legendary, man. Um, yeah, so that's where we were. I wanted to
League.
show like last year's standings, but those don't exist online anywhere.
Yeah, I was trying to find those too.
That's not good.
So we can look at the stats of last year and see like who had the most wins and we figure it out based on that, but that's a lot of
To
work.
reverse engineer it.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
God, I love Frisbee.
Yeah.
If you look up like 2024 UFA playoffs, there was one UFA site link that went to the standings like the playoff seeding. It showed all of that, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't show anything else.
Mm-hmm. Well, it happened. It's over. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
anymore.
we're looking ahead.
We're looking ahead, but first let's look back at I just linked the stats from the final game. I remember it started out as a huge blowout and then the Flyers started to make a comeback, but it just wasn't
hmm
enough.
Yeah. I
It
don't
was
know.
like
I know
crazy weather, right? It was like,
Friday night was crazy windy. I
yeah.
don't recall
I
if
think the whole weekend
Saturday
was
was a
windy.
huge effect.
I mean, based on these turnover numbers, like probably.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it was. It was crazy windy. That was the one where they just kept punting it and punting it.
Yeah. I remember that one highlight where it was just like, you
Yeah.
know,
One thing that's cool about Minnesota is like I do feel like last year, like when they got to championship weekend and won it all, like none of us picked them as like one of the top three, four, five teams in the league. But like if you think about it, 2 years ago, so like they had a buzzer beater Joel Clutton like tap from being in the championship game away,
mm,
and like now they're winning it all. So it's like they've kind of been here. It's not something out of the blue.
yeah, we were kind of sleeping on them. That's on us. Honestly, yeah, I
They're
don't
always there,
remember.
you know?
Yeah.
Like you can pretty much book them for being at championship weekend. It just feels like they're always in the mix, you know?
And we'll
Yeah.
get into that more because I think Central Division is going to be pretty spicy this year. Once we get into like the new player signings and whatnot. Um,
Oh my God, I forgot about
yeah,
this.
last little bit of last year news, I guess, was Dallas wrapping it up.
RIP.
RIP
Yeah,
Dallas
rest in
Legion.
peace.
Man, they stunk though.
Not good.
They
It's
will not be
crazy.
missed.
They won't be missed, but
That's
like
mean. I shouldn't say that, but
they had that stretch
it's true.
before we covered the league, like 5, 10 years ago when they
Uh,
making championship
they used to be
weekend
a dynasty. Yeah,
back.
it's
It's
They
craziness.
crazy.
changed the name and nothing and good ever happened to them again.
I know.
Yeah, it
Imagine
turns
like what, like 8 years from now, if the Empire were just so trash that they folded. Like that's kind of hard to imagine.
yeah, they had like an Empire-esque run. I think it just goes to show that like in the moment it feels we'll talk about the Empire coming up too, because a lot's I don't know, they'll still be good. But
Mhm.
like in the midst of like a dynasty, it's always like, fuck this, like fuck that team. I hate it. But like then looking back, it's like they end, man. Like they don't
Mhm.
Dallas is like case in point of
Yep.
that. I guess I don't know. Did they win more than one chip back when they were actually good?
I think so.
I
It
think
felt like
so.
they were pretty dominant for a while. But yeah, I don't know. That's yeah, I guess turns out that like changing your name to something dumber and more generic and then having like Dwight Schrute mustard colored shirts isn't wasn't
It's
the
not the
winning
vibe.
formula.
No.
Yeah.
Uh, They
Somebody tell Gorpus.
Yeah, speaking of changing
Speaking of
names,
Corpus,
Oh,
we've got Oregon Steel.
they took too many Corpuses
Hmm.
last year.
So can we not say Corpus anymore? Like, what's the?
I
I
don't even
mean,
know what to think.
wasn't that
It was their like sponsor.
their
Yeah,
sponsor? Yeah, so if that's still on the jersey, I'm gonna call him Corpus.
yeah. We'll see.
That
Steel.
logo,
It looks
it
like
just,
sockeye, right?
Yeah.
well, I was gonna say it looks like a tool company logo,
It
like a
does with like the
drill.
the saw blade.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on now that you say that. Like, s- is it steel? Is it a fish?
I think
What,
it's a type of
like,
I think
fish,
I
I
think
guess.
with if Kyle were here, he would
Guy would know.
allude to this shape being a little suggestive.
Yeah,
That is a
certainly. Certainly.
Like you got this situation going on.
can we zoom in
It
just
is
so
it's
anyone
very like
watching on their
curvy,
phone can like
but
know what we're talking about?
there
if
is
you're
like a tip situation going on.
Yeah.
it
And
if you
honestly, that bottom part that's like attached to it is like rounded and hanging down low.
Yeah, you make a good point.
Oh, that's a
You
very
make a
good
good
point.
point.
Oh, that's a really
no.
good point.
You make
Oh
a really good point,
no.
Ryan. Especially this negative space here. Just yeah.
Oh man, until
Wait,
you said
wait.
that, I was saying it looked like a little swimmer, but now that you say that, you're totally right.
It looks exactly like in like middle school health class, like those diagram, the cross section. Like,
You-
If you look at it sideways,
You're so back.
that middle
yeah.
one, that middle one looks. Oh, the bottom left, bottom left. If it's like mirrored, why are they all facing the same direction? That's opposite to the
Yeah.
logo. That's funny.
Maybe we'll have to do some Photoshop and
Yeah, you'll have to mirror it.
oh
Oh,
boy.
Okay.
So welcome to the league. Um
Oregon Steel.
Oregon Steel.
Oh
Um
no.
okay.
that aside,
Oregon
I like
Steel.
their colors. I like their colors.
Listen,
Yeah.
Um
all of these rebrands, you consult us and we will
Yeah.
find what's wrong with your
yeah, you
logos.
need to find the most
Okay.
immature person
To be
in the
fair,
world.
if they had come to us and asked us for a logo, this is what we would have drawn for them.
That's true.
Mm.
I also want to point out one thing that like if you're talking about like a Frisbee team name and a porn name put together, like Oregon Steel, I feel like Steel is a very common fake porn last name.
Yeah,
Definitely, definitely.
that's
I gotta
unfortunate.
say
Well,
the word Oregon behind Steel is it took me a little while to figure out what that said.
Yeah. Okay, well,
I think that's the
while
least
we're
problematic part of the rebrand.
agreed. While we're on the topic of suggestive new team names,
Oh no, what are we doing, UFA?
we've got the Vegas Bighorns.
That's, okay, listen, to their credit, it is a little bit of a stretch. It's like,
It's
it's like the lowest common
yeah,
denominator
Mhm.
penis joke.
Mm.
but I'm still gonna
Um,
make the joke, you know.
yes, yes, we definitely will. We definitely will.
It's
That's not gonna stop us.
the logo's clearly an animal, so good work there.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh no.
It it the
Oh no, is
the
that their
logo
jersey?
the
Is that
logo
their
there's
It
no
can't
way
be. It
that's the
can't be.
jersey. There's no way. The
That would
logo
be
a little bit looks like those fake 2K teams that you can create.
mm,
Yeah, it does.
it
Yeah.
totally does.
I really
But that's kind of
hope
like the UFA vibe. They're all
Yeah.
kind of like that to some extent.
I hope for their sake that like brown isn't their like most featured color.
Looks like it is gonna be.
I
Oh
think
Wait,
there's
wait,
a
wait. Scroll all the
Unless
way
it's
down.
this.
Or that, or click on inaugural, any of those that have the three colors at the bottom. That's probably their color scheme.
brown and
Oh,
white, brown, white, black.
brown, white, dark brown.
Yeah, brown, white, brown.
Brown, white, dark brown. Those are the colors.
Which Which team do you
Guys.
think they used for their photos for the inaugural photos?
Oh, that's a great question.
I
Yeah,
think I
what
saw an
team?
Empire in the back in the top. That's an
Probably
Empire
like a
shirt right there.
championship weekend photo.
Oh
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
probably.
an Empire hat, I think.
I think
Yeah.
there's a tasteful way to like pull off brown
Is there?
uniforms. Yeah, like like I think the San Diego Padres are an example of
Sure,
like they
yeah.
have kind of some brown in
Mm,
there. I think isn't there like there's like a college like what's
Brown?
that well, brown.
Nice.
Are they brown? Are they actually brown though? Is their color brown?
Their Frisbee team.
Their Frisbee team sometimes.
I'm gonna say this and it's gonna be wrong, but there's like some like
Lehigh.
there's like some western
Lehigh is brown.
Lehigh. Okay, I was gonna say Lehigh and then I was gonna say not Wyoming, but there's some
Theirs are boring though.
college. Yeah, those aren't very good. There's a better one that I'm thinking like brown. Usually it's accented with like yellow or something.
Uh-huh.
I want to say it starts with a V. Am I crazy?
The
Like
Valparaiso.
Are they brown though? I might
I
be
don't
mixing
know.
them up with another. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
They have some tasteful, I think. I could be wrong.
Looks like they're
Uh
okay. That's
That's brown.
decent. That's
that's what I'm talking
decent.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a way to make it work, but I don't really trust the UFA to
I
pull
also
that off.
wouldn't say I like that,
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll
but
have
it's a
to see.
choice.
I'm not gonna count them out before.
we'll reserve judgment. So those look nice.
Yeah, those
Who
look
do we,
pretty cool.
how do we think they're gonna fare this year? Just like in that West, because they're in the West, right?
Yeah. Bad, right?
I mean, they've got Joel, but like Joel's not. Honestly, I think in the UFA, having an elite handler is more important for success than having an elite cutter.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So I don't
Baylor,
Yeah,
know who else they're gonna pull through.
Baylor,
It's kind of
Wyoming's also brown. I
Mm.
looked it
Wyoming.
up.
Yes, I was. Yeah, because yeah, because Josh Allen. I
Oh
saw
yeah,
like
Josh Allen.
Wyoming Josh Allen jerseys.
oh yeah, football happened.
Football.
Eagles won the Super Bowl, but we don't cover that.
That looks nice,
Yeah. You
but
think they'll do like a Western thing? I guess not. They probably have their font like picked out.
they all have like yellow in it, and the Bighorns just don't have yellow. Like all these brown jerseys that look
Uh-huh.
good have yellow.
Yeah, yeah. They
Not
just have
a
brown and
different
dark
brown.
brown.
Yeah.
Brown and dark brown.
All right.
Anyway,
All right,
Well,
let's enough of
anyway, yeah,
that.
let's talk about division realignment and I guess their place in the scheme of things. So
okay, so actually there's some weird things to talk
Yeah.
about here.
yeah, it's just the main change was really aviators and growlers being pushed to the south to
That's
like
so
fill in for
So
weird.
Dallas.
odd.
It is odd.
Why?
I think
Why
they
is
used to
Carolina?
be, or I think both of them used to be in there, maybe like post COVID, like right after COVID or something. Um,
It it feels weird, like just like the traveling to play all of those South teams is gonna suck.
yeah.
It's just so funny that like Carolina geographically is so much closer to so many of these other teams than
Mhm.
like San Diego. It's kind of, you know what? Like it always pissed me off when they would change the like when there'd be new SEC teams and I'm like, you're not in the fucking Southeast. So I can at least appreciate that like to some level, all of these teams are
Mhm.
generally speaking more southern than any of these other teams. So in that sense, like at least they
Sure.
got that right.
I guess my question, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, is why not flip Colorado and Salt Lake? Or, yeah, Colorado and Salt Lake for the two California teams, that are, West.
Probably because they want them with Vegas
Yeah.
because they're all real close together and they're all the new teams.
And also the West is going to be dick if you take out Colorado and Salt Lake, right? So just from like a division like equitability standpoint, you at least guarantee you have some like big players in every division by leaving them.
Mhm.
Yeah. It is kind of weird that like Vegas is close to like LA and San Diego, like
And
I don't
Oakland,
know.
yeah, Oakland not being part of that
Oakland.
is.
Yeah,
is
that's
interesting, but
it's a little interesting.
it's just kind of
Like
tough.
what are the
Okay.
flights? What are the flights from Raleigh to San Diego like? Like what's the travel? Like are there direct flights? Like I don't even know
I don't know.
how that's gonna look.
I
Like
think
are some of
LA
these
makes sense because it's like a bigger travel hub, but
yeah, I suppose. But like Houston, well, Houston's a huge travel hub. Austin, not so much at
not so
all
much.
though.
Yeah.
But they were already in the same division as Carolina.
hmm And I feel like
But
for that trip, you like fly to Houston, and then you do like driving around to
actually, yeah,
hit
I mean,
your yeah.
to be fair, Atlanta, huge airport, tons of flights to Atlanta, tons of flights to Houston, tons of flights to LA, tons. Well, I don't know about San Diego and Raleigh. Raleigh's the
hmm
toughest one. I think that's going to be the
But if you're
weirdest.
doing San Diego, like you'll fly to LA, then play San Diego, and then leave from LA
Right,
probably.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out.
hmm
Okay.
Austin, Houston, Vegas, Salt Lake, Colorado. Only five. They're in, I guess, the South. And then you got Oakland, Oregon, Seattle, San Diego, LA. Also just five. That's the West. Toss Atlanta and Carolina into the East, and
hmm
then pull Toronto into the Central. So it's
Mm.
5-5-7-7.
Hmm.
Isn't Toronto like really close to Detroit?
Yeah, it is.
So I
Toronto could be
doesn't have
central.
to be equal. Doesn't have to be equal.
Every
Doesn't have
time
to
I
be
look at
equal.
a map, I'm like, that's where Toronto is. Like,
hmm I don't know. It's kind of cool that they're even though, because like last few years, it's been like a little wonky.
Yeah.
So that is a plus, I guess. I don't know. We don't have to do the traveling, so who
Yeah.
cares?
True.
through that.
All right. Should we talk about new additions? Kind of
Um,
the meat of the pod.
yeah, let's get to the meat. Well, we already kind of got to the meat with
Yeah.
Oregon Steel, but oh yeah, real
Oh
quick, we
dear.
had
Ken Brock.
two retirements. Ken Brock retiring. Um,
Just for anyone not listening or watching this video and anyone on Spotify, we are talking
I
about Matt Smith
will
specifically.
remember you.
yeah, that's it. Great career.
Yeah. Third
Well,
most all-time goals.
and
Mm.
then next, worth mentioning, Nethercutt not playing. He didn't like officially retire, but I saw that he's not playing. So
Who knows
That's
what he's doing?
I
he
will
kind of
remember you.
Nethercutt didn't play like the
Last year.
full
No.
season, or did he play last year at all? Or did
I think
he
he
was
played
A
3
little.
games.
okay? So he had already kind of
He
yeah,
was
on
out.
his way out.
tapered off a little bit. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely notable though. I mean, he's fucking Nethercutt. So
yeah. Okay, let's get into new or player movements or meat here. I think maybe it makes sense to just go like by division here. I mean, we don't have everything listed, but we
Let's
could
do it.
just so the South, all that I think I see is Atlanta making some additions, Alec Wilson Holiday and Matt Smith, meaning Cam Brock, which was kind of nutty.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
And then on the flip side, them losing Justin Burnett and Carolina losing Tobias Brooks are the main happenings, I think, in the South Division so far.
We'll probably talk to Cam more about, what his thought process was, but just like putting myself in his shoes, I'm thinking, all right, Indy got devastated this year with, players leaving and whatnot, and I think they just kind of had no shot at contending for a title. So he's probably thinking like, all right, maybe go to a team that has a shot at contending. And I guess my first reaction is why not go to Chicago? Maybe Chicago didn't want him. They probably have cutters, or maybe Atlanta gave him the best contract. If they have, I don't know if they have money to give contracts. I don't really know,
I,
what decision maker
I
was.
wonder. I wonder
Simple.
if maybe a factor was like I know the Cats played at Atlanta at least one time if not two times, like the past couple years.
Hmm.
And I don't know, like yeah, like Cam probably like talked to. I remember seeing like after the game, like some players like talk like chopping it up with Cam Brock and like. I just think like you go there, you play the team, you meet the guys on the other team, like that barrier is less than maybe whatever other teams he could have gone to. He's like, oh, I've met everyone on this team basically, and like we could literally ask him what, but I think maybe that was a factor.
Hmm.
Just like knowing some of the people and talking to them. Maybe they reached out to him and they were like, hey,
Yeah.
come play here.
Do you think he has a
Um,
new contract or he's just like taking over Matt Smith's contract?
He just like
It's as
scribbled
if
out his name.
it'll be as if he never left. He'll slot right in.
He just like wears Matt Smith's jersey. No one will know the
Yeah.
difference.
Do you think he would play in like
Wait,
a
that's
hat
so
with a
funny.
wig under it?
We did not joke about this nearly enough. That is the biggest travesty of our hiatus that we took, is that we did not take full advantage of the potential from this roster shuffling.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. All right. Should we get to the big one? This is the biggest one, I think.
Yeah. Should we
Mhm.
talk East?
Let's do
Let's
it.
talk East.
E-money.
Ever's freaking Shapiro. The
E-money,
reason
he's
we
from New
started
York.
this podcast.
He's front runner for senior of the year. He has to be. New team, new look. He has to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This gives me like I don't want to compare him to Shohei Ohtani, but like Shohei Ohtani vibes were like some guy from from whatever Tulane gets on some team that was never gonna win it all and just puts up big numbers, and then the big team out east says, here's money, here's a contract, come play with us, like the Dodgers. And
So
he's like the glow up is just like crazy.
so Ryan, in your example, just to make sure we're on the same page, Tulane equals
Yeah,
Japan.
that's what I
Just
was gonna
compare.
that's what I was gonna note also.
Tulane
The
equals
What
Japan,
did
Aviators.
I miss while I was
and LA is on the East
Yeah, yeah.
Coast.
Wait, no, no, it's like crossing coast to go to different teams. Well,
But
Yeah, but you didn't
but
say crossing coasts. You said going to the East Coast.
because he is now going to the East Coast. That the analogy that
oh
was me
oh
Shohei,
explaining what he went to the East Coast, like how Shohei went to the Dodgers.
okay, sorry. So Tulane is not Japan in this example. Tulane is Shohei's high school or
No,
whatever.
Tulane's the
no,
Angels.
Yeah, no.
no,
Then you said
no.
then you said
LA was the
L.A. is
Angels.
Japan. No. But what you just said is that
LA is
L.A.
Japan. This is out of order.
No.
Guys,
What
why are
Ryan
we
just
going into
said.
this analogy? Just tell
No,
me
this
it's
is important. This matters. What you said was that the Aviators was like Everest being in Japan, and then now going to the Empire, it's like him traveling a long distance, and then now Everest arriving at the Empire is like when Shohei first arrived at the Angels.
No,
So
I
he
don't think I
hasn't.
said that. Sorry. Maybe you guys just misheard me. What I was saying is like he's like Shohei, like Japan and Tulane, and then going to
Yeah,
the Angels, going to the
Japan and
Aviators.
Tulane was the analogy.
Yes, Japan and Tulane.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And
And
then
then
the
Japan.
Angels and the Aviators, two teams that were
Okay,
never going to win it all in the
okay.
league, and then going to the powerhouses.
And then the big East Coast
Yeah,
move.
Yeah, now he's on the big East Coast. I'm not saying
Yeah.
the Dodgers are the East Coast. I'm saying the
Okay.
Empire are the East Coast.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because it is a little bit of a stretch, but now that we've teased it out, it's a little bit less of a stretch than it's still a stretch, but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'm all for baseball now. I
Notably,
love baseball.
Everest is known to use other people to make his sports betting too.
Mhm. And
See,
he
this
does
analogy gets
Japanese
stronger and
Duolingo.
stronger.
He's been
And
doing
he
it for
needs a
like 3 years.
translator to communicate with English speakers.
It all works. Okay, you're right,
And he
Ryan.
has a secret wife. You know what, Ryan? This is you're bang on, man. This is a good.
I'm bang on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway,
Let's bang on.
let's
bang
bang
on.
on. But
Let's
no,
bang.
that's
That's
super
huge.
exciting. There's probably going to be a lot more Empire news we don't really know yet because they haven't really announced anything that and Jack Williams and Ben Yot returning and Liam Haberfield. But I feel like they're not taking their disappointing season lately, and they're gonna try to bring it back all the way.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. I cannot believe that Everest is on the same team as like Ben Yot and Like what
Same team. He's on the O line. Or
what
sorry,
loon
I don't know what we're supposed to say yet, but he might be
I think
playing O
that's what
line.
he's trying to do.
Well, he's played O-line his whole career, so
Yeah.
we can maybe assume that he'll slot in on the O-line. We don't know for sure. But like what kind of Looney Tunes freaking like world do we live? This is crazy. This
Yeah,
blows my mind. Like um but yeah, I mean props to Everest. Like he deserves this for sure. Like
Yeah.
um he's a good player. I think he showed like what he can do. I think like no knock on the Aviators or anything, but like I think being on a team like the Empire and being around like that type of players and like their standards of like, making the playoffs and how good they've been and their coaching staff and um their vaunted trainers uh notably Ryan Anderson,
Mm.
best in the biz. So
This
I think it could bring the best out of him. I'm excited to see how that goes.
not only I think is this going to bring the best out of him, but for the Empire, they're going to have a far better ambassador on dating shows now.
Mm,
true. He would eat that shit up.
He would actually be
definitely.
so good on that.
We should try to make that happen.
How's his dating life going so far in the Big Apple, Sam?
He goes on a date like every other night.
God damn. Dude, he visited me for Mardi Gras last year and he like I barely saw him. Like it was crazy.
It's crazy. He's a busy guy.
Yeah. Um yeah, that's huge. Empire stocks are going back up.
Hmm.
Aviators, I will kind of get I think this is a good segue. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys had anything else to say about
No, go for
the
it.
East. Well, the brain drain is real for the
Yeah.
Aviators. This is yeah.
Wheels coming
Um
off a little bit.
Wheels are maybe the as the I was gonna make some kind of plane comparison. I just cut that. uh
Cut that, cut that, cut that.
Got that.
yeah.
Well, I would
Bad
cut
year for
that.
planes. Bad
Oh,
year
I
for
get it
planes.
because they're the Aviators.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, that works.
No, let's cut that.
Just pour.
Keep it in. We're so back.
We're so back.
So
And
E-Money's in New York.
no one made any distasteful jokes that we had to edit out.
No. What was this Khalif to the Growlers business?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
what's up with that?
Did that
I saw
happen?
like a tweet or an Instagram post about it. Yeah, he's on the Growlers.
I did not know this.
Does he did he ever like play club for a SoCal team or was he's always mixtape?
He's been always mixtape.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's interesting.
I do think in the last couple of years, the Team USA, like beach team, non-beach team, everything, like I think there's been a huge mix of elite players that everyone at the top level is becoming friends, and that's why you're seeing more like people switching.
Yeah. Yeah, because some of these like changes like geographically are kind of crazy,
Mhm.
but like it makes sense that like if Pavel, for instance, and we already kind of went over this, but like Pavel and the Lotto kind of tagging along, I'm sure they've
Mm.
been like, talking about stuff and I don't know. Um,
Well, also we saw Lotto at layout. He was like practicing with one of the beach teams. I don't know if it was the World's team or the other team or whatever.
right.
Like Xavier Payne's on that team,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's other people on the Chicago team that's on. You know what I mean? So like they're all practicing, hanging out together, and talking about like what do you want to do UFA wise. Um, so that's very interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe cleave to the Growlers or something like that. I think that's interesting. Like the Growlers, that's kind of their only addition. I don't know if they have any
I'm wondering.
notable.
I'm wondering if there's going to be some LA flight to uh to San Diego now.
It
Yeah,
does
I
kind of
wonder
seem
if
like
McDougal will go back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
they do kind of just go back and forth like some guys.
Growlers, I mean, they could have done nothing, and the Growlers stocks are higher than the Aviators right now.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I
Oh,
totally forgot about McDougal because I was like, as soon as I saw Everest and Pavel and Lotto leave, I'm like, oh, this Aviator team, like they have nobody good. And it's like, no, wait, they have Sean McDougal, like one of the best cutters in the league. There's no way he's on the Aviators this year. I'd find that hard to like
Who's
have
throwing to
him.
him?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think it should be uh glossed over. Wettengeld to Chicago is interesting. He was the
Yeah,
Mhm.
Indy like D-line guy, right? He
Hmm.
had a really like a breakout season.
he really did. Yeah,
Um and yeah, I just like Pavel going back to Chicago, like that just feels kind of right, like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I
They've
also
Um
got an embarrassment of riches at the handler position now.
I know
yeah.
Victor Luo, like he was
Yeah.
what their number one handler in Madison last year.
Yeah,
yeah,
Chicago stonks through the
Up,
freaking roof.
up.
they're up. And
They're
Minnesota's
way
coming
up.
off the title. They add James Pollard and Justin Burnett,
Yeah,
who are both
Yeah.
that's
insane
huge.
athletes and
That's
crazy
The
players. So
Central
I'm
Division is officially a
so
two-horse
excited.
race, and
I'm so
it's
excited to watch Minnesota.
yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, Chicago stonks up. The
and
Central's
that's
gonna be a
all.
Minnesota,
bloodbath.
Yeah, Central's gonna be exciting.
it's
Mal
so much easier to root for James now, not being in Philly.
Oh my
Oh
God. Yeah.
It's so
yeah, Philly
sick.
stocks are in the toilet without James.
They
Yeah.
were already bad with him.
Yeah.
Not by his, I mean, I don't know. Like Ryan, you said earlier, it's like having a high impact handler like changes it. Like no disrespect to Sean Mott, but I don't know. Having a cutter is very impactful, but like sometimes you're a really good cutter on like not a great team. Like we see guys go from a poopy team to a good team all the
Mhm.
Well,
time.
I think to that
Yeah.
point, James Pollard was not just a high impact cutter. He's like like an insane cutter who also was like pushing the field downfield with his throws.
Yes, he can bomb it like and
Mhm.
and you like you try like you see him rip it and you're like, okay, like he should be doing that. Like you're not
Hmm.
like, oh no, this cutter is going crazy.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, no, that's huge. Mini's gonna be fun to watch. Excited for that.
Yeah.
Um Malks. That's
Malks.
the next one I'm seeing here.
Is this
Yeah.
rumor just based on
I think it's
uh
just a rumor because he did
He,
move to
yeah, he
Seattle.
moved there, but nothing has, no signing has happened
Yeah, no signings happened. It was just
as far as
interesting?
I know.
some
Is there any
speculation.
is there any rumors about Rowan? Is he confirmed to stay in DC this year?
I haven't heard
But the
anything.
rumors about him leaving,
Well, he played Dig last year, so yeah, it's like, does he have Boston ties?
I don't know. I could see it.
Like,
That's interesting.
why did he ditch truck stop last year?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Rowan's from Boston, I believe, or at least um he came from there to DC. I don't know if he's actually from there, but yes, I think there are Boston ties for him, and I'm interested to see what that looks like for DC because I always felt like um they were an amazing team, and Malks was like the central piece of that, but it also felt that like they have in a like they have tons of handlers and they like maybe that won't be too big of an impact, but also like it probably I don't know. I'm just trying to like cope a little bit, I guess, because that probably
to,
is a huge impact. And
to be clear,
um
that this has not happened yet. This
Yeah,
isn't even a thing that is maybe gonna it's just like rumors of will he because he moved there.
yeah, but he
Mm.
moved to across the country. Like, how are you gonna stay on the same
He's definitely
team? I
not
guess
going
I'm
to
saying it's
play
Like
every
a bunch of
game.
people did that. Yeah.
I guess,
Like
but like
maybe he'll,
assuming
yeah,
let's yeah, just assuming that he's not gonna play for DC, which yeah, I guess we haven't confirmed anything. But if he leaves, then we'll see. Like, is Box coming back? Because I think he took the year off.
I hope
That
so.
if Malks leaves, but then like if Boxley comes back, that's like certainly
hmm
would soften the blow. But I don't know. DC shifting things around, kind of interesting. Interesting to see. And like yeah, like the big thing is like, can they keep up with New York? Because New York is still
yeah.
yeah.
getting better. So
And
What do we think
then
about these rush additions?
yeah, Toronto is the other big mover in the East. They're a lot of these are like re-signing players we've seen there in the past, but they did sign Mark
Uh,
Lloyd, who's
Mark
like
Lloyd and Connor McHale, I would say, are two big signs. Connor
yeah,
McHale came out of nowhere because I mean I just assumed he lived in England. Um, so I don't know how that works. Maybe he's just gonna be here for the summer, or
yeah.
he, flying in a bunch.
I don't know. It could be good from the glory days.
Pretty bad though.
They were pretty bad. That's pretty nasty.
I guess I shouldn't say pretty bad. They weren't very good.
Yeah, I don't know, but they've made enough moves where I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I do expect the Empire to be the best in the East, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
Do we think this is the year that Oscar comes out of his prime retirement, or is he going to be like Michael Jordan, just take like 2 years off?
I don't
Play
know.
minor league baseball.
I don't know if he's going to
Wait,
come back to the
I haven't
Empire at
heard
least.
anything
Hold on,
about
back
him.
back to our really like crazy stretch baseball comparisons. What's the equivalent? What's the Frisbee equivalent of like if Oscar um like Michael Jordan playing minor league baseball, what's the Frisbee version of that? Like what's the
Oh
Frisbee
God,
version of minor league baseball?
mini golf.
Yeah, putt. Like not even putt, just like that, like like that strip of turf you can buy and just like practice your putting.
Yeah.
Hosting a podcast.
he joins a competitive cornhole league.
Dude, cornhole is
There's
more
more money
legit
in that
than
for sure.
More legit than minor league baseball.
well compared to cornhole. Minor league baseball gets less viewership by an appreciable amount than the NBA. Cornhole gets more viewership than Frisbee does.
But
Like,
I'm not talking about like professional cornhole where you get views. I'm talking about like a
like
competitive
I'm in my
cornhole league
backyard.
in your
Minor
and
league cornhole.
Minor
yeah,
league
at
cornhole.
like the
Yeah, yeah.
brewery down the street, the one you sign up for.
You're
Like
not,
weekly
yeah. The
weekly cornhole.
championship's not making it on ESPN 8 The Ocho.
Yeah.
Okay, I see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay,
Like
okay.
they
Yeah.
just go to the bar and he's just there
Mhm.
every Thursday playing cornhole.
Exactly. But he's the champion of that.
Right.
He
Well, if we're
probably
using the Jordan comparison,
Yeah,
he's
he'd
like
be
not
he'd be
actually that
bad at
good.
It's
it.
just not good.
But if we're doing the Jordan comparison even more, he's completely tearing down his frisbee body and building up a specific cornhole body. So give him
Yeah.
3 years and he'll be good.
And then he
Well,
won't
if
be
we're
the
really
same.
doing the comparison, then there's maybe he's embroiled in some
Yeah, he was
gambling.
betting. He was betting on the
He's betting.
UFA. He was betting on the UFA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve Hall made him step down
Yeah,
because that's what the league needed.
you need to keep him quiet. Steve Hall's the one who moved Babbitt to New York, or from New York, so nobody would investigate Oscar.
Mhm. The Friday night frisbee. Are you guys excited for that one?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
looked
you
at the
guys aren't?
schedule.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
got it.
know if
The free
I don't know
game
if
every
I'm
week.
I don't know if I'm clear in my schedule for any of these, except maybe Austin Hustle. Oh, Minnesota Union. Okay,
Empire
late,
Glory.
late down the stretch, we got some good ones. We got some bangers down the stretch, but man,
Hustle went chill.
Babbitt against New York's always fun.
I think I might
Yeah.
go to the first one.
okay.
Ooh.
Actually, if Seattle is good, which I think is very possible,
Why
this
would Seattle be
shred,
good?
They made championship
well,
weekend.
yeah,
I forgot about that. But they lost Khalif though. He was the whole
that's
reason
true.
they made it.
I think Lucas is
But they've got Lucas and they've got
Yeah,
Garrett Martin.
I guess.
July 4th.
Yeah, I mean the Salt Lake Summit game, Salt Lake Minnesota game, Minnesota Union game. Those games are gonna be great. Hustle, Austin. It's really down the stretch. It's great.
Yeah.
That first game, Vegas Empire. Yeah, I'm debating
Interesting.
about just going to that game because Vegas is not too far, and also in a reason to go to Vegas is never a bad idea.
That's not a
Yeah,
bad point. And
do it.
Everest will be there. That's actually
Well,
funny.
that's kind of the main reason. If Everest is
Yeah.
gonna do
Oh
that,
yeah.
we're down.
What's how would you drive there or would you fly? Like, what's a flight to Vegas like for you from Colorado?
Uh, it's like $150 to $200 round trip, so it's actually nothing crazy, depending on
And
the,
then you make it all back.
and then you make it all back.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Betting on the Longhorns
yeah,
under.
betting on the horns to cover
Yeah.
plus 20 and a
Minus,
half.
yeah.
The schlongs.
What do you guys think the opening line should be
The
on that?
line's gonna be 20 and a half is not a bad idea.
I don't think it's 20 and a half because that's absurd, but I think like 14 and a half if
Over.
I just had to like throw a number right now.
Over.
You're taking Empire minus 14 and a half.
I'm taking Everest by himself minus 14 and a half.
Oh man.
Well, the Everest. Well, Joel play O line mostly, or is he
We'll
D
see.
line?
Who
He
knows?
might have to. I don't
He
know.
has to be O line. He has to be an O line. I was gonna say that matchup would be fun, but maybe they won't be
It
matching up.
it is fun. We saw it like 2-3 years ago.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, the shred. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Who plays on the Bighorns besides Joel Clutton?
We don't know.
They might not.
Nobody knows.
They might not even know. Have they had
I think they're
tryouts?
still
No,
going
they
through the
were
whole
when we were
tryout
looking at their
process.
website, it said
Yeah.
tryouts were upcoming.
I think their
They already
second
had
tryout was
tryouts.
yesterday.
Ryan, you should try out.
Another reason to go to Vegas.
Just go to Vegas.
Hey, don't mind if I do.
All right. I am bummed there's only one Empire home game on here, but I should be there for that.
Nice.
What game are we all gonna go to this year?
I don't
Ooh.
know. You guys should come to New York if it's all about seeing Everest. He's
I'm
here every
trying.
week.
I'm
I
trying to
think
visit.
I'd fly into New York for a game for sure.
I'm trying to visit DC.
I would
This
do that.
summer, just to like. I haven't visited in a while, and
6-6.
if we lined it up with like a breeze game, that could be kind of sick.
6-6.
Yeah, this
Six
game would be
six
good.
is looking kind of nice.
I got
That
Wow.
room.
actually,
That could be the one.
That could be
that
fun because I think Breeze has one of the best like stadiums and game day atmospheres, and I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, it is pretty fun there.
and we could play beer pong at my parents' house.
Yes.
Are your parents
All the listeners are
in DC?
invited. That's all the news. We're caught up. I put a line for hot takes if anyone's got a hot take, but also fine if not, because no real rosters are out yet or anything like that.
I think a fun hot take would be um, like the Cats like pull it together and I don't know.
Cats to championship weekend.
Cats.
Yeah. Once we get full roster announcements from all the teams, we'll have to do our hottest takes again.
And
Yeah.
take
And our
chart.
tier list.
Take chart.
We need
Yeah.
a tier list.
hmm
But yeah,
Right.
we need to know more about who's on what team. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm
Anything
open.
else?
I'm
Open.
We're back now,
I'm
so
open.
buy merch.
We are
Buy our
back.
merch.
Oh yeah. Buy our merch. It'll be the link under the link to listen to the Abby and Arsonist album.
Hell yeah.
Right there.
Right here.
Right here.
I'm open.
Click that.
I'm open.